Welcome to Rap in Order, the interrogation of a hip hop album, where we take some of the culture's most beloved hip hop albums, put them on the stand, see if they stood the test of time. Now let's see who we got on the stand today.
Order in the court.
Ladies and gentlemen, we bring a special episode to you. We are doing a early quick review of Drake's For All the Dogs. Thoughts? What were you guys' thoughts of All the Dogs? For All the Dogs.
Well, from what I've learned for myself is that not to go into Drake albums with really, really high expectations. I think that point of his career has passed for me. I think what he does and what he focuses on is the hits, putting out hit songs, trying to include all bases of his fan base. So the old school fans from like 2009 to the fans that he's still getting in 2023, because he is still getting fans. He tries to appease everybody. So because of that, you get really long, bloated projects, and you get albums that aren't as focused as they should be. I think everybody kind of has different sides of Drake that they really, really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, you get an artist that's putting out records that's not like looking within in any way. He's just trying to appease different people. You know, even the rollout of this album was kind of weird for me, where he was like, oh, they said they missed the old Drake, don't tempt me. There's gonna be a return to form, blah, 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 blah. And it was just weird for me because it's just like, oh, you're doing things to kind of just feed people that want certain things from you, and you're not doing it for where you are now. Like where are you currently? You know, you think about the old Jay-Z line, niggas want my old shit by my old album, which I feel like most artists should kind of attest to that. Like you should kind of go along with that, where it's like, all right, well, but this is where I am. You know, if you keep feeding people for what they want, you're never gonna grow artistically, at least.
But what about when you do it and it succeeds? For example, I mean, I know it's hard to bring up in this because of the language barrier. Bad Bunny went back to his original. I know, but he went back to that original thing and because it was requested and it succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's possible to do, and I think it's. I don't think he did this just for that. I think he did it also because we're never going to get what his fans have been. Majority of his core fan base, I think, has been asking. That's the straight rap out.
I have
always said that he wasn't going to drop it.
Yeah. I have to push the difference on that. Drake is 15 years in versus Bad Bunny is still like fairly like a newer artist. So Bad Bunny going back to something, a project that he did 3 years ago, or like going back to a sound he did 3-4 years ago versus Drake having to channel something that he did 15 years ago is a lot harder. Mm-hmm. And like and saying it is kind of like playing like on people's heartstrings. Whereas for Bad Bunny, it's easy for him to get back in that bag because they might have been like, you know, maybe old songs that like he just didn't get finished and got to. I'm just saying that's a possibility.
Like Jay did it too when he got back more with the American Gangster after doing the other challenge for 2-3 projects real quick.
Yeah, I think. Well, but Hov said that inspired him when he watched American Gangster to get back into that bag, because it kind of gave him an excuse to revisit that time frame. It was right. Realistic to him.
Yeah, it's for Jay, it's like the artist that he's working with. Like for like Puff had just had those soul samples because you know Diddy and the Hitman, like they did well with that, and they just had beats that they didn't use for Life After Death, and I think his No Way Out project, and they just had them, and then like you know he was able to give Jay those stems or whatever like that, but. Back into For All the Dogs. My problem with the album is not like a real drastic problem. I don't think that the album sucks. What I think though is that Drake can only be compared to Drake now. Drake has reached a certain point in his career where if this album For All the Dogs for another artist is probably the best project that they've put out. But for Drake, you compare it to some of his, you know, his better projects. And you realize that I think that Drake has kind of reached cruise control. And sometimes I find myself like wondering, like, all right, like I'm a Drake fan. So should I just be like fine with this because, you know, Drake's kind of coming upon the point of where he's getting to that point where people are going to start calling him old. And I'm wondering like, damn, is the problem for Drake that he doesn't know where to go, or like this is just his lifestyle. Like there are some people, like when you become of a certain status, you just stay like how the fuck you are. Look at Ric Flair. Like he still lives that shit. Like I'm not like I'm like it's no exaggeration. I'm not saying that Drake is like Ric Flair, but I'm just saying like a lot of people are mad at Drake for saying the things that he's saying and telling him to grow up or like have more adult content. But this might really be his life. So I might have to accept that. Like you know what? I just haven't. I've outgrown this artist and accept that and do what Jay told me to do and just listen to Drake's old shit.
Yeah.
Because when I listen to his new shit, it's just like me knowing his age. Like what you know what I'm saying? I think Drake was born in '86 like us, right?
Yeah.
So me and Regg, and it's just like, all right, like he's very, very rich. He kind of it's certain things he kind of don't have to do that I feel like I have to do it as an adult.
Yeah. But I think with Drake, it's interesting because when I listened to this album, like I sat with this album a lot, and so it made me go back to his old shit. And I was listening, and I'm like, well, what did I really love about Drake? And I think what it comes to is the hooks. He was really good at hooks. He was really good at like crafting these hooks that like weren't repetitive, but just like they were standalones. They were dope. He could give them to anybody, and that's what he did back then too.
Mm-hmm.
And now what he's dumbed down in his music is he doesn't really give you hooks anymore. It's like he raps, he taps into trap, but then like it's like a lot of repetitive shit. Standing on business. Like
well,
that's what
hold on.
That's what's
he stole that from Trusky.
I know he stole that from
Could have been Records.
Yeah.
That was his shit.
Yeah. But I was just bringing that as an example. But what I'm saying is like a lot of his records he stripped down. And it is just records that he's just making in his sleep. And like as a day one Drake fan, we should be able to say that.
Day one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, day one.
I think it's just it's when it's the same content, it feels like throughout the album. Like when's the last time we've got an introspective Drake? Like a real introspective, like
it was on Scorpion.
Yeah. I feel like there's been a steady decline in his work since Scorpion. I think Scorpion was also just a lot of filler that when you cut back, I don't think you got fair on Scorpion. But I think Scorpion is like really the last great Drake project. I think everything else hasn't been it. I like that he experimented with Honestly Nevermind.
Yeah, I do too.
You know, I just want to see difference. I don't want to see, and it's like the songs on this album, like specifically, if you go Virginia Beach, Amen, Daylight, all sound like songs he already's done, and just they're not as good as the versions of them previous.
He's 15 years in, bro.
Yeah,
like that's all.
Yeah, 7969. It's like.
I like that song, but it does sound like something that he's done before, but I like it.
But that song gives wild Andrew Tate vibes too. Like talking about I only want to dating 25-year-olds, and also the fact that you don't like the fact that a woman's never cried. Like you sound kind of like a psycho in your old ass age. Like I'd understand.
He's very rich, guys. Like we gotta understand that part, right?
No. I don't have to. I don't.
Oh no. Okay. Well,
I don't have to. So
right.
as a fan who held him to a certain regard, and you know me, I've been on here several times. Every other Drake album, I'm the OVO Avenger. This is where I'm finally like, all right, enough's enough. I think there are moments he floats on it. I think the high points are features, but I think my two favorite solo moments he has on there are the What Would Pluto Do and What About Picasso.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I really like Bahamas Promises too.
Bahamas Promises.
Like old Drake.
It sounds like old Drake, but I feel like I've heard that Drake before.
Right.
Like,
but this Bahamas Promises was about a particular girl.
Yeah. Haley.
So remember, remember the original album cover for Certified Lover Boy was a girl hugging him. Yeah, he was on it. That was the girl. Like I just think like it. You want to know what I also think is funny? I want to talk about first person shooter. Like I think everybody agrees like Cole got Drake on that song, right? Mm-hmm. But I also think that like it's funny to see how J. Cole, like his projects he's challenged himself and like he's gotten better, right? But I also think that J. Cole is like motivated, and Drake isn't motivated. And I think Drake is just like going through the motions, and he put out this project. He knew he could put this project out. Like he was just like getting to that point, and then like it makes me think of I want to watch my words carefully because you know Regg, you know he real strict. But I'm really into Elvis, so I watched a lot of things about Elvis, and there was something that Elvis did with his music after a certain point in his career where pretty much it was all like cookie cutter. Like his movies, his music, like everything was kind of like it was like Elvis in space. Elvis goes to the beach. Elvis is a cowboy. Like it's one of those kind of situations. And like his projects, like the songs, they all like, all right, love songs, whatever like that. But it was like you kind of felt like you heard it already. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't making another like Shake, Rattle, and Roll or another fucking Jailhouse Rock or anything like that, right? Like I think, and I know Elvis stole those songs from Black people. So I don't think he originally made them. I'm just saying he was the most popular making them. But I think for Drake, he's just like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Think about it. First week sales, 402,000 copies, like being pushed. I think that's like one of the biggest opening sales of the first weeks of the week. So it's like like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's why like he felt so strongly to tell Joe Budden that he's a loser, like because he's like, people are buying my shit no matter what. Like I'm printing money. Like what are you telling me right now? You know, so I just think that that's where Drake is at with it, and I think that it's very difficult for a lot of people to in his circle to kind of give him like a critique if he's making so much money, like, you know. And I think like it might take somebody like a peer of his like J. Cole or somebody like Kendrick to actually fucking put out a diss track on time and like actually put those things, you know what I'm saying, like out there like that. Because right now, like anything Pusha T says to Drake don't give a fuck about no more.
I've always said what Drake needs is some time away, and he did say that with this rollout that he's probably gonna be out for a year or something like that and take some time. And
nigga, take 3.
I couldn't be happier. Like I want Drake to just take some time and like learn himself, take a fucking vacation, you know, and see what that's like for you. Like all the people that we've named, they have no problem taking time away. You name Cole, you name Kendrick, and the way that Cole raps now is very evident of somebody taking a time.
Yeah.
I feel like Cole still puts pen to paper and he sits down and he takes his time with shit, and it shows. Like
also, I think for him, it's still a competition.
Cole. Oh, because Cole is an MC's MC, and Drake is more of a. Regg said, "Don't call it an artist." Would you say that Drake is more like
He's a rapper? I don't know how else to say.
No, well, Cole is a rapper, but like Drake is more of a hit maker. Like he's more about like the charts and everything like that. Well, Cole is like an MC.
Yeah,
I feel like J. Cole still battle raps people in his free time.
Yeah, I feel it. And I also like that. I feel like everybody he's brought in his crew is that way. From JD to Jid to Earth Gang.
Yeah,
I feel like all of them are all like, nah, we're gonna rap with somebody. I'm rapping to my full rapping ability.
That's good. I agree. I think so.
I got one big problem.
What's up? Let's hear it.
Keef sounded beautiful, and then he just got cut off.
I think Chief Keef actually put out the full version.
He did. He put out the full version. Yeah, it's on the internet. I just think things with that, like they just be like, all right, that's enough. You know, they I don't know why like people do that on albums and shit like that, because they hear how great it is. They know. So I don't know.
I like BBL interlude, even though a lot of people were playing it. I like when Drake gets silly.
I like Rich Baby Daddy.
Rich Baby Daddy's good. That shit came on, and I'm like, I don't want to like this. I don't want to like this. And by the end,
also, I don't give a fuck with Yeet,
bro.
Like
Yeet, I'm happy more people learned about Yeet from
And the funny thing is that like I heard it on the album and like it didn't draw me in, but what drew me in was the videos on the internet now of the cartoon versions of them doing it in the studio.
Oh, with Drake sitting with his fucking legs, like
It actually made me enjoy it. And then like obviously Amen with Tizo Touchdown. I think Tizo Touchdown is really good.
Yeah.
But
I have a question. Do you think Drake sometimes picks these features in mind knowing the cartoons are coming? Because this is what, the fourth project that the cartoons came?
I don't think he knows.
He's just incredibly. We first saw that Drake was very aware of his fame. Well, I first noticed it from views, from when he did the video for Hotline Bling.
Yeah.
And he did all the cheesy dancing because he
The
knew that
SNL.
would take off. You know, he knew that was gonna do what it did. That was my first like key to like his self awareness that he has. But yeah, I think he does. I think he's very aware. And also another thing that with this project, I think it is a lot of him just grabbing artists that he knows are gonna like take off in the stratosphere, and it's not just organic relationship that he had with these people, and that's a big difference from like his projects before.
That's not true. Well, let me not say that. I'm sorry, Rich. He usually, one thing that I will always give Drake credit for is that he always tries to put like whatever artists that he thinks are next, he tries to put like work with them.
Yeah.
So that's a thing that he always does.
Yeah.
It's just that like, you know, I think before they all came up together and now he's just older.
That's the difference.
And that's the difference. But I don't think that, I think that he's building relationships with some of these artists, and I think he fucks with them and trying to like mentor them. And I actually think that like he is. And I also have my 2 cents to put in. Lil Yachty and Kevin Durant, fuck you.
I second that. Fuck the both of y'all. Because also the rumor is that this shit was full of spice and more bars everywhere.
I saw that.
And that Yachty convinced him to tone it down. And I assume if Kevin Durant was the A&R, he was a part of that. So fuck the both of y'all, because we deserve some spice. After all these years and everything going around, we deserve some spicy ass Drake.
We love a little Drake spice. We
did.
Yeah, man. It's whatever though.
I mean, we got some on Her Loss though. We got a lot on Her Loss actually.
Yeah, but that was fun. I want to hear you. We had a timestamp that didn't have anybody.
8 a.m. No,
Sorry.
8 a.m. 8 a.m. should have had more spice.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us know your thoughts on Drake's new album, For All the Dogs. I'm Taurian B.
I'm First Class Regg, of course.
And that's Danny. Desperado Dan, if you really know. But we'll catch you guys next time. Dun dun.